Oh, if this doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. I've been talking to a lot of people this weekend. This little tidbit that was dropped upon us is getting people beyond excited. And in case you don't know what's cooking in the Galaxy Heroes underworld, well, why don't I give you a little bit of a heads up? It feels like there's gonna be a Separatist attack incoming in February, y'all. Let me show you what's happening. Let me just say, one of my favorite years in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes was 2019. 2017 is my other favorite year. I just feel like that Galaxy of Heroes magic wasn't quite the same once we got into 2020 and Galactic Legends and all that. But in 2019, with Darth Revan, we had Malix, we had ourselves General Anakin Skywalker. It was a banger year. But now I feel like we're gonna go into some juicy stuff here. I'm gonna take you down memory lane here in a moment, but B1 Battle Droid is gonna be our platform for the conversation of how I think we're gonna be seeing some new Separatist things come out of the factory in Geonosis. Hop on over here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's start off with the core, build our way up. Login calendar 2024, February is the B1 Battle Droid. And most times the login reward means something. January, we're kind of approaching the end. We didn't really get much into wave announcements. We got, the comeuppance, but we have been confirmed a road ahead is coming. And January, for the past while, has kind of served as like a mixed bag of random stuff. Last year was Zori and TIE Defender, completely unrelated to where the rest of the year headed. So, I think we could, scratch up January to be, it was just another mixed bag of random stuff. That was, necessary. Comeuppance was a decent addition. But we have a road ahead coming. Not specific when, but who knows? Maybe we're gonna hit a 5-year anniversary mark. Before I get too ahead of myself, man, I'm just beyond excited for this. We also have some extra freebies on the web store. If you guys don't know, every single day you can go on the web store, connect your account. Please be taking advantage of this. You're gonna get shards of something, and there's free energy on there and free credits. But check this out. B1 Battle Droid is our login calendar. And as we're seeing here, the bonus calendar reward is the B1 Battle Droid, the B2 Super Battle Droid, IG-100 Magna Guard, or you might be gracious enough to get a Droidica. Well, how about I remind you of something? February, a lot of Separatist droids. What's so important about these droids right here? 5 years ago, almost on the money, in February, we had Droidica B1 come, and then IG-100 and B2 Super Battle Droid got reworks. It blows my mind. 5 years ago, holy cow, man. It's funny how time flies when we're having a good time. 2019 doesn't seem that far ago. That was literally half a decade ago is when the last time we had any major Separatist uprising in Galaxy Heroes. The announcement of the General Grievous rework, some of their best art I think they put out. I feel like we don't get enough of this stuff anymore, man. We need more of this. And we're gonna also show some trailers they used to have back then, but back then this is big. The Grievous rework was kind of a floppish until we finally got Relics, and Relics really kind of brought Grievous to fruition. But of course, Darth Revan kind of stole his thunder. Remember when Darth Revan was accidentally leaked? And then people were like, oh, I'm not going to invest in Grievous. I'm just going to wait for Darth Revan to come. Oh, that was a fiasco for the producers and the developers, I suppose. Anyways, I'm so giddy right now. We had the announcement of the B1 Battle Droid that was brought. We haven't got, what happened to these trailers, man? Did he just not have the budget? They're still making money as far as I can tell. I miss having these trailers. We really don't get them that much anymore. We're lucky to get even some of that fancy artwork that we had. Or the B1 Battle Droid was fundamentally just a brand new type of breed of unit with all the different stacks. It was such a unique unit. To this day, it's still, I feel like this is one of the most clever, unique designs we've had for a character. Really makes you feel like you're kind of going up against a whole entire B1 battalion. Really cool stuff here. But besides that, the other new unit that we got was the Droidica. This was, luckily we had the Omicron not so long ago to kind of spice things up in Territory Wars, but really Droidica was we revisited, Galactic Republic. We revisited, the Old Republic. We revisited some Empire, Rebel stuff, and a lot of stuff. We haven't revisited the Separatists in any meaningful way since 2019 February. I mean, that's a long time. And of course, other things as I mentioned, the B2 Super Battle Droid got a nice little rework. It was already decent before, but it even got even decenter, not more decent. It got even decenter since with that there. And of course, IG-100 also got a bit of a touch as well. And I actually believe they did a part 2 rework for Magna Guard, and then they added the stealth, because before that, it was so easy to kill off Grievous, but then they added the stealth later on because of a lot of feedback provided. I know I complained a lot, and it finally happened. So Magna Guard getting stealth, maybe I get like 15% credit for that. That made Grievous a lot more competitive. So anyways, am I crazy? Yeah, you don't need to answer. That was a rhetorical question, okay? But if we connect the dots here, my friends, we have the login calendar. We know a road ahead is coming soon. I mean, it's about time. We really don't know where we're going. I mean, the last part of 2023 was kind of off-road. So it'd be nice to get some direction where the game is wanting to go this year. And we know that Admiral Trench was added last year, and the high speculation is that he's going to get a capital ship. But I really want to believe with that daily login calendar, really just pointing out the 4 Separatist droids that were touched up or added in February 5 years ago. I really want to believe we're going to get some new stuff off that Separatist factory line. But what can we expect? I mean, there are so many Separatists that were developed in terms of just the droids. Not even talking about, maybe they'll add like just a human or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. What do you want? Like sliced new gunnery? I don't know. But I think really getting new droids would be a little bit more exciting, in my opinion. But look at this, is literally just in regards to Separatist battle droid models. I mean, look at all of the different droids that we have. Yeah, that's quite a selection that you could pick off the factory line. I picked up a few. I think, for example, we might get a BX series droid commando. I mean, we technically have it through AFRA, but people want their own droid commando. And the easy thing is they already have the assets made inside of Geonosis territory battles, another PvE type of game. So all they got to do is copy paste that sucker over, of course, update the kit a little bit. So I think that's possible. The ST droid, as we're going to talk about Kalani, but I think one that could be probable could be a droidica sharpshooter potentially. We already see this kind of being used inside GOTV, of course, sometimes in galactic challenges, a spawnable unit in those type of regards. But I really want to hope that they're going to be targeting General Grievous specifically. I really feel like, aside from territories, which his Omicron's definitely, there's been a lot of counters developed over the past year or so since droidica Omicron came out. It'd be nice to see Grievous get a little bit more firepower. I just rarely use him inside of Grand Arena and Territory Wars. He gets some light use, especially if there's like high health datacrons or something of that matter. Another option, we have the T series military strategic droids in here, so this could be another opportunity. So again, there are so many droids they've already made from an asset perspective in GOTV that I think they could take on, especially Kalani as well. Kalani would be a really cool addition to General Grievous, or who knows, maybe they throw it inside of a Trench lineup. I really feel like Trench could use a little bit more love. I mean, it's B minus team. I'm sure some people say A plus. To each their own, of course, if you want to believe that. But the other option that we could maybe be pursuing is, maybe this is our hint that we're going to be starting to see ships for the Separatists come. We are kind of on track for one Galactic Legend ship a year for Star Wars Galaxies, and again, Trench being casually dropped, the only admiral in the game that does not have a capital ship. The probabilities, if you had to put money down, it's a good thing to put money on if you're a betting person in Star Wars Galaxies, that Trench would get some love. So maybe they start dropping some of the ships. I mean, what was it last year? What was it, around March, April, May, something like that? They started dropping the Sith ships. And then later on, come summer, we had ourselves the Leviathan finally get added. So they usually try to drop these things a couple months in advance, so we could easily hopping into some sort of galactic chases for ships. But I really want to hope we get a character. We just had a new ship come up, which is fine and all right, but the characters is what gets our blood pumping in Galaxy Heroes. But just putting it out there, very good chance we could also be getting some Separatist ships this month or in the next couple months leading up to this capital ship right here. I've heard some speculation as well that maybe General Skywalker get a capital ship. It's possible. He's a general, doesn't have a capital ship. But I just feel like the Separatists need a little bit more love, especially when we ranked the ships the other day. The Malevolence is not bad. It's still a solid, but it's definitely lost its edge. And I think that's where we could maybe see us develop into a new Trench fleet down the road. Now, I'm going to talk about one more thing here. This one, I don't know how much money I can put down. There's been a lot of speculation about the next Galactic Legend. I'm actually not really 100% sure what I would put money down as a betting person. Of course, there's GLs like, oh, I want this, I want that. But there's this difference between want and like legitimate predictions. It's kind of hard to lay it down. I've been seeing people say, oh, maybe we're going to head into a Separatist Galactic Legend this year. I would love it. I don't know if it's going to happen. The biggest problem is who would be the Separatist Galactic Legend? General Grievous? I mean, we already have him. Again, it doesn't really make sense to make a second Grievous, battle damaged Grievous. There's General Grievous Cape Edition. Not a lot of options in that regard. I mean, then, Count Dooku, of course, very important, but we already have a Count Dooku. There's really not another variant of Dooku that's GL worthy except maybe Pajama Dooku. Of course, there's the Jedi Dooku, but obviously that wouldn't be a Separatist. So it's kind of hard to say if there would ever be a Separatist Galactic Legend, except maybe Chancellor Palpatine. As I kind of said, I feel like that's something that's cool. It can kind of dip into Galactic Republic. Maybe the Separatists kind of playing both sides of the field. Boy, wouldn't that be great if you can use him inside of like the light side and all different planets inside of the Rise of the Empire? I think it's kind of a cool concept. So I don't know as much as I would love. Like, I feel a lot more confident new droids coming, new ships coming, Admiral Trench's ship. I just don't know what would be the Separatist Galactic Legend. Again, like unlike Anakin, which it has very obvious character changes. You have Pod Racer Anakin, and then you have yourself, Padawan Anakin, and then you have yourself, Jedi Anakin, Lord Vader. Very different progression in the character development. Of course, Darth Vader. Even same thing with Kenobi. You can make an argument that there's different milestones. Only one that's hard to argue is Stormtrooper Han. There's so many different Hans. Stormtrooper Han is a very mild appearance. So who knows? If we have a Stormtrooper Han, which isn't very different from a canonical perspective compared to Han, maybe they could add another General Grievous, which I would be all for. Man, wouldn't that be so dang sick? Anyways, I hope this guy gets you guys as excited as I am. February 2019 was one of my favorite updates of all time. The hype in Galaxy Series was peak at that point. Not to say there hasn't been cool stuff since then, but just 2019, 2017 is held in high regard for me personally. Some of my favorite years inside of Star Wars Galaxy Series. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you buy into the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory? I don't think it's that much of a theory, my friend. So I guess we'll find out. Who knows? I mean, the road ahead for 2019 was posted on January 31st, 2019. So there could be a very good chance that this maybe gets dropped next week, potentially. Feels like it's about right? We need a road ahead to kind of tell us what the next batch of stuff that's coming to Galaxy Series. Anyways, I could talk to you guys all day about this. I am absolutely, I don't know. Just like things like this, just bring some of that Star Wars nostalgic magic back for me. Anyways, I keep saying anyways, but anyways, I'm excited. Hope you guys are. And, as always, I just want to end on this. This is kind of a random thing, but man, 5 years since the last Separatist Uprising in Galaxy Series. I just want to, I say this all the time, but I really do appreciate the time we've spent together. It's no small feat to say that we've been together for just a half a decade since then, and even longer for those that were with me prior to 2019. I absolutely appreciate all the time we've spent together. It really, I never take it for granted. It's an absolute honor and privilege to talk about Star Wars, nerd out, and I don't know, share my excitement with you guys. Anyways, I don't want to get too sentimental. We got many more years to come around here, but until then, always remember, I love you guys, and it's great to be in the Empire today.
Oh, it's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.